Are you here to have your vengeance on my granddaughter, Orin? Only this time, you will fall, and Baal will have his offering by my hand. Spare no violence for the Dreadlord's grace, and savor every moment of the creature's slaughter. Our father, Hapa, the abdicating hero. Your keen sense for this city has withered in your absence. You took this spirit's life, and thus its voice. So, speak for it. How was this pitiable creature slain? You belong to Baal. He manifests within you, and you are a truer vessel of his cruelty than even the Slayer could be. You disappoint me, child of murder. I expected more of your return. You shrink from that which you should revel in. Your devotion to your father is wanting. You stand now on the cusp of the Dreadlord's favor. It may not be this decade, may not be this century, but a true spawn, our dread father incarnate, will one day be born and will destroy this city. There is no better mirror in which to see the true nature of a killer than their victim, my very blood, and by extension, his child of Baal. Do you not fear our father's wrath? Why waste your time on discarded relics? With Baal's blood in your veins, you need them not. But the company you keep has tainted you and pulled you away from our father's grace. You were blinded by her artistry, her devotion. You believed she worshipped you as much as all the others. You return, taint-blessed kinkiller, having committed the holiest of sins. No, I am proud. His ire may be quiet now, and you may not have become his brutal prophet. We preside over the tribunal, which has initiated many assassins into the ranks in the temple. Here we remain until another of our line ends time itself. Baal's seed must be sown throughout the land, that he might wreak murder on the world entire. You slaughter well, aspirant. You are deemed worthy.
I will not tolerate impudence. This place shall be your grave.
The cult survived, festering beneath the city with me as the gate's everlasting poison.
Your death in his name.
Cleanse the temple of Orin's girlish shrines, and bring your primal slaughter back to Baal. And yet you share a father. Her relation to you is as strong as it is to me, Bloodkin. Perhaps stronger. Walk well in the Dreadlord's bloody footsteps. Let us die, Chosen, as only Baalspawn can die. I would have thought that you understood that, Baalspawn. I am disappointed. Thus one would have the work of murdering to the top. They would never consider that another remained yet with a claim upon their title. You didn't even think of it when we spoke earlier. But these are not aspirants. You have brought traitors of Baal into our midst. After centuries of this rancid defeat, I rejoice. For today I meet the true definition of failure. But now you have returned. Tell me, are you here to have your vengeance on my granddaughter? I sowed the seeds of my intent, It was you that harvested them. Lay not a finger on this child, he said, nor let any other, for this child will serve me with unholy ardor. Protect her in my name. You're as stupid as I recall, man of stone. Come, child of Baal. Offer thanks unto your father for your birth, and in so doing be reborn anew. Do not test the murder lord's patience. Bathe now in the font of blood, and be baptized as his unholy assassin. You are unworthy of Baal's presence, let alone his trial. My aching bones in this husk still feel every spark of pain from the crystalline moment of my first death in the temple. But the worship of my lord is led by another now, my granddaughter Arin. I will be the Dreadlord's chosen once again, and you will be my offering. Father shall be proud indeed. Go to him and present your sister as an offering. There isn't a moment to lose. You will make a fine offering to the Lord of Murder. His own blood returned to him, freed of its ungrateful flesh. This one has long meddled in my affairs, and my father's. And yet, as you came afore Baal, you spat upon the glory all of our brood dream of so deeply. Here come those who seek to transcend, aspirants of his most profane order, the would-be unholy assassins of Baal. Stumble on, Rashiman Wanderer. Murder well in his name. But the truth of Baal's will remains. Any Baal spawn who can kill a chosen has a hope of becoming the chosen themselves. There are two paths to the temple of Baal: to carve your devotion into flesh, or to be the carcass that is carved upon. Your words stumble. They hesitate. You lie. Your wit remains as sharp as ever. But your devotion must be sharper still, for you now carry the murder lord's blessing, unholy assassin, and his expectation. Begone! The time has passed. Slow thy tongue, dread sister of mine. This pretender would foist itself upon us willingly. Ill met, but no stranger to slaughter. But Arin is not the subject of our judgment here today. Go now, child. Slaughter your sister Arin. Take your rightful place as father's heir. There is blood to be spilled, and corpses to be wrought. Do not test Baal's patience. Go forth and make murder. Betrayer. This was Arin's tribunal. She was judged, and she was found exceptional. You worshipped him the way that he would wish. Your bloodlust innate, your thirst for butchery unslakable. You have slain Baal's chosen? She may have usurped you once, but all her rites and rituals will never match her to your natural gift. Take this amulet, child, and return it to your father's chamber. Unholy chosen. Of course you are above needing to prove yourself to the tribunal. When Arin was but 7 years old, she tried to smother the child as an offering to our Lord. I didn't deserve an eternity of rest,
I deserved only this shackle, to live forever on the outskirts of my own dear cult and mourn my own downfall. I died once. A death in the self-same temple chamber where you slaughtered Orin.
Not even for a slayer, Lord.
Yet you still came here, seeking Lord Baal's favor. You have given me everything a father could hope for. Worship death though I do, I refused it. I roamed the coast, gathering those who still held Baal in their black hearts. Come, dread sisters, let us make a sacrifice of this pretender. For Baal will have his offering. You have done me a great service, child of murder. In eliminating Orin, you have cleared the way for me.
You were the greatest hope we had for centuries.
You have slaughtered Baal's chosen, yes. But I will not bow to you.
I understand. I once fell to hubris, as you are falling now. But no more.
You return, unholy assassin, soaked with the stench of one familiar to me. Interloper! Slaughter deeply, aspirant, then bathe in the font of blood. The murder lord awaits your offering. You bear his blood well, child. Your offering pleases Father. I must admit, it brings me pleasure to baptize an unholy assassin in your presence, noble heroes. Worship death though I do, I refused it. I roamed the coast, gathering those who still held Baal in their black hearts. Slaughter this celestial being. Spill its blood into the void, and through eradication of its goodness, be exalted. You wish to become an unholy assassin of Baal. So, approach and be judged. In death, you will please Baal. With these killings, the glory of the Baalists has risen beyond what we dreamed possible during those dark days. In times past, I was Baal's deathbringer, his acolyte. But no more. The youngest unholy assassin ever to follow in Baal's bloody trail. And his chosen. Silence, spawn! Our undeaths are not to be admired. They are a punishment for our failures. Your fall was as spectacular as your birth. The purest Baal spawn there ever was. Ruined by his own hubris. Enter the Dreadlord's abattoir and submit to his will. I see you have not embraced your birthright yet. Perhaps with my stewardship, Father will bless you yet. Our Lord does not care for beauty. Baal cares only for death. Death in numbers. Death in droves. And who counseled you to do it? But you, your blood is purer than mine ever was. He made you himself. The perfect killer. I even hoped you and my daughter might one day create a new blood lamb for us. But it is not to be. The victorious chosen must emerge from his own knife arm. Far be it from me to bend Baal's will. Forgive me, child of Baal. I forget myself. Killing is but another vital function of your existence. Such is the urge. Your hubris has gained the better of you, as mine once did of me. But no more of this act. You will make a most beautiful offering to the Lord of Murder. You were once Baal's favorite. You worshipped him the way he would wish. Your bloodlust innate, your thirst for butchery unslakable. To receive the blessing of Baal. I lie awake each night in this sleepless scab of a form, dreaming of what it would have been like. You have slain my granddaughter, Orin. A test to prove your worth to Baal. For 200 years, I wallowed in my own failure to dominate this city. As followers of a Baal spawn, kill this celestial being, make violence of its goodness, and you will be reborn, an unholy assassin of Baal. There is nothing more I can teach you, but if you bring about her death, return to me. We shall revel in the divine memory together, as family. While Baal receives tribute through Orin, he lives again through you. Very well. Then approach and be judged. Our father does not feel pride. He bore the disgrace of creating life in his spawn. We can but atone for the shame of birth. She worships at the heart of Baal's domain, the temple of our Lord. You were murder, pure murder. No excesses, no pretensions. Behold, Father Baal, your lost child, bathed anew. Arise, unholy assassin. Our cult survived, festering beneath the city, with me as the gate's everlasting poison. I am pleased she died a finer offering yet. There is no deeper honor than death in a duel with Baal's chosen. This is where you reveal yourself. Why do you speak such heresy, child? Baal may favor you yet. You are the true inheritor, after all. It must have been, and you have given me new hope yet. It is your right. They must craft a series of kills, reaping divine tragedy and greater terror besides. At the last, an innocent must be gutted, while the tribunal judges the initiate's knife hand. My lord made his choice. I abided by his words. I believe you will be the one to slay Orin. She is the child of my child, and your bloodkin. What purpose do you have in bringing this heretic to the court of Baal? Speak, or death will be your final word. Baal has never had a more gifted prodigy. Show us the truth of this murderer's intent, and let us judge her for her bloody service. I will be the last of our line. As long as one Baal spawn lives yet, there may be a chosen. Baal will never again have cause to question my devotion. Oh, noisome child. It would bring waves of enlightened rapture to duel you. But it is impossible now. Perhaps your heart has spent too long bleeding. Baal will not allow for a moment of weakness. And would you know it, little slayer, so do I You misunderstand the Lord of Murder. He is not proud. He simply is. The details are everything. Anyone can kill. Not everyone can make murder an act of worship. And yet I returned to my father's service and brought you with me, Rashaman Wanderer. For in your baptism are we united under Baal. As my daughter raised our daughter, we debated to no end as to how we would make of her the perfect offering to the Dreadlord. You will make a most beautiful offering to the Lord of Murder. And when he does, remember Grandfather Sarevok. Remember how he helped you. Return to visit him, and tell the blood-drenched tale of your victory. Your fall was as spectacular as your birth. The purest Baalspawn there ever was, ruined by her own hubris. And so the idiot ranger raises his weapon against Sarevok once more. So I ask, why have you brought no offering, child of Baal? How am I to lead you in his worship if you abstain from his most blessed sacrament? I failed once to kill my kin. Now, at last, may I offer family blood to the Lord. Miserable worm! You will plead for death before the end. I know this one well. I have traveled in her company. Whatever else may be said of her, she answers to no one but herself. Your father has sent me to your aid again, chosen one. Together we will bring new glory to his name. I will bless you in the coming battles. Let us bathe the way in blood.
You will die as you have lived, a heretic, forgotten and unloved. Blood to blood is Baal's sacrifice, and I shall be the knife that spills it.
The Dreadlord will have his tribute. The blood spilled will be yours. And I remember my battle for the city like it was yesterday. Let us make a sacrifice of it. For Baal will have his offering. And when you do, remember Grandfather Sarevok. Remember how he helped you. Return to visit him. And tell the blood-drenched tale of your victory. You always were vulnerable to a grand narrative. Such weakness is common among heroes of your ilk. Let us begin. For you, his perfect creation. It is only natural. Every Baalspawn other than he who would be chosen is born to die. I'd hoped she would die by the Chosen's hand, but there is no Chosen in this cruel world. And soon, I shall be all that remains of his line. Your talents have outstripped my expectations. I know my like, child of Baal. But I needed to see you slaughter first, to take life and revel in it.
O hail, true chosen. May you bring death wherever you walk.
The thwarted dream of 2 centuries ago. For father to walk the plains again. You are the one that can revive that dream. A word of advice, unholy assassin. Wrap your leash tighter about your slaves, lest their belligerence undoes you. To your end, or the world's, chosen of Baal. I should raise a hymnal in your name, child, for the service you have done for me. She is the architect of Baal's design. Why do you wait, child of murder? Bathe now in the font of blood and receive your father's blessing. The cult survived, festering beneath the city, with me as the gate's everlasting poison. She wronged me. In killing her, you honor our father with a eulogy of blood. Orin is the one you seek to butcher. She only seeks the Baalian favor you were born to inherit. Slaughter well, Baalspawn. Set a deluge of blood upon this land.
I fear we must kill one another. It is Father's way. Two children must not both leave a holy site alive.
The Grand Harper, baptized in blood. What a sight to behold. With these killings, the glory of the Baalists has risen beyond what we dreamed possible during those dark days. Perhaps not, but for his honor, I must try. To die by the hand of a chosen is the only death I could ever wish to take.
Fate is written, and I have read it. You shall know soon enough.
Who laid a trap for the hot-blooded young Baalspawn and tricked them to return? A fine death, unholy assassin.
Such stillness, such nobility, unmarked by your command.
You slaughtered well. Your worth is proven. Enter now the font of blood and be reborn. Do you hear that, child? The bloodless vacuum where your father's love for you should be. You have disappointed him.
Your face bears the marks of many years, Jaheira. Your wit, however, does not.
My lord has a new favorite now. My granddaughter, Orin. Come, child of murder. Let me lead you in Baal's worship. It matters not. The Celestial is dead. The offering is made. You speak of the past. I speak of the future. Well, aspirant, do the shades of yesterday speak for you too?
You gaze upon your disgraced kin, those who were sacrificed where you were raised up.
Your blood belongs to Baal. It is a lesson Orin will only learn in death. I wonder if you will be the one to teach her. You were never more to my father than a stinging insect. Irritating, but irrelevant. And yet you still scrabble for his attention.
But for one purpose you are fit, indeed. You will make a fine offering to the murder lord. You disappoint me, child of Baal. I had heard such tales of you, tales of grandeur and vile glory.
And in the end she died for nothing. By your hand. The whole debacle caused naught but Baal's ire. Ah, faces I have not beheld for a long time. Nature's warrior and the idiot ranger. Baal never had a more fecund offering than I sowed on his behalf. But no more, for poison is too slow a death. Now is the time for slaughter. You must be tested, child. It is Baal's will. She doted on her grandfather, the only person who tried to protect her when her mother failed to kill her.
You have earned the right to stand before Baal's tribunal.
Orin only seeks the Baalian favor you were born to inherit. It seems there is some disagreement on who is master here.
Even if I cannot defeat you, perhaps at last he will let me die.
I heard the screams. I ran to help. I feared for the child's life. But the cries were not Arin's. And now that you have returned, we will have a new age of slaughter in your name. For you have slain Arin in our father's temple. Show us the truth of this murderer's intent, and let us judge him for his bloody service. I have heard it said you lost your memories. Let me revive them.
These two have long meddled in my affairs, and my father's.
Baal's reasons are not for us to question. Make violence of its goodness. Spill its blood, and bathe in Baal's eternal rapture. Take this amulet, child, and return it to your father's chamber. You are the true inheritor of his will, and he would smile to see you wear it. At every death, a prayer, a pleasing thing, to see these stones stained with the blood of she who disgraced my father. No more than you are, Harper, for you have been reborn, and in our service are we united, unholy assassin. And so it is that Arin now leads his temple, and draws aspirants to his creed, a servant to the cause, a master of the craft. A pleasing thing to see these stones stained with the blood of those who disgraced my father. But you were foolish enough to think yourself untouchable. You didn't see Arin rising through the ranks. Perhaps father will take me back if I clean the world of his little embarrassment. She will not bend to your will. No matter. It will be my pleasure to break you both instead. In my father's name, we have a sacrifice prepared for you, child of murder. Let us celebrate your becoming.
I never thought I'd see this. The Harper and the idiot ranger brought to their knees before me.
He will not bend to your will. No matter. It will be my pleasure to break you both instead. In my father's name. With this amulet he grants you entry to his chambers, the Undercity Temple of Baal. But you will need my help. Show us the truth of this murderer's intent, and let us judge them for their bloody service. The hamstered fool. Once more, stumbling across Baal's bloody path. You wear our Lord's will well. Go forth and render murder in his name. There is no better mirror in which to see the true nature of a killer than his victim. Your failure is known to the Lord of Murder. Your sentence is decreed. The taste of blood, the tang of death. It has been far too long. It was her mother's blood that soaked the sheets. Arin had cut off the very hand that tried to end her, and made a plaything of it. The murders are a test, one that you would once have excelled in. But it is not for you. She hungered for Baal's favor more than anyone I'd ever known. But her daughter, Arin, hungered even more.
The holy fool, who purged Baal's blessings and ruined their once perfect form. Your death is a welcome offering here.
And as she toyed with her dead mother's hand, a deep quiver rose up through her throat, the Lord of Murder speaking through the child. Poor child. She doted on her grandfather, the only person who tried to protect her when her mother failed to kill her. This is a sacrifice my father has long lusted for. But it is not the giving of their lives that will please Baal. It is the taking. A long while ago, my wretched sibling bought me back. The fairest of Baal's spawn soul-bound me to this husk that is not for you to question.
Your hubris will be your undoing, as it was once mine.
A pleasing thing to see these stones stained with the blood of he who disgraced my father. The child of Baal who slays the chosen may himself become Baal's chosen. It is a shame you did not tell her. Arid never knew who her father was, never knew how potent he could be. But you have brought it crashing at our father's feet. With Arin's death and your rejection of him, you leave him with no chosen. The tribunal bears witness. Aspirant, do not disappoint us.
I thank you for killing my granddaughter. She could not have been dispatched by better. Nor could I. Exquisite. I claim a forefather that I desire all deaths equally. In my private worship, though, I have found myself turning again and again to prayers for her demise. Your hubris is quite incredible, but it is your undoing, as it once was mine.
We fought already. She bested me, humiliated me, enclosed me in this chamber with Baal's unending disappointment. I am a failure to him. Patience, child. Our father has much in store for you. Father loves no sport more than the spillages of fratricide. And you will be well instructed, for you follow a Baal spawn.
We honored Baal with our deaths, but he dragged us into these husked forms to bring the lash upon the gate and nurse his dread cult in its dormant years.
Then your devotion to the murder lord is unparalleled, and I am in your debt, for you have done me a great service. You have cleared the way for my return. You are mistaken. An offering must be made. Behold, Father, baptized in your most wretched name, a new, unholy assassin.
I never thought I'd see this. The Rashomon wanderer brought to his knees before me.
An unholy assassin of Baal has victims, not adversaries. Come, child of Baal. You have wrought exquisite murder. Enter now the font of blood, and be purified in sin. With your death, I will prove myself anew. It is Father's way. You are ripe for rebirth in his unholy name. You will know Baal's slaughter. There is no better mirror in which to see the true nature of a killer than her victim. Slaughter well, in the name of Baal. Do not mistake my blessing. If it is your death that becomes the offering, I would worship that tragedy. To eat her when she was but a babe, to drain a gallon of her blood each morn and pour it over his icon each night, to skin her and craft the hide into a hilt for a sacred knife, Take pleasure in your slaughters, Harper, and relish your unholy acts of murder. But my fate is a paradise compared to the one Father has in store for you. I never thought I'd see this. The Grand Harper, brought to her knees before me. Your despicable sister lies dead, and your chosen body bathed in her blood, leaving Father with no chosen at all. The noble Jahira, once more walking in Baal's bloody footsteps. The weakest worm of a Baal spawn, the holy fool. Whelp! Know that Baal has a worse fate in store for you than you could ever fear. You sacrificed your kin, the most sacred act a Baalian could conduct, and summoned him with her blood. Go, Berserker. Do as you do best, but this time, in the name of murder. You shrink from that which you should revel in. It is in revelry that your devotion to the Lord of Murder is known. A true pleasure this will be, Baalspawn, whether to kill you or be killed by you. They will not bend to your will. No matter. It will be my pleasure to break you instead. In my Father's name. Your fall was as spectacular as your birth. The purest Baalspawn there ever was. Ruined by their own hubris. I speak the word. Perish! Your offering pleases Lord Baal. Your words delight him. Before you may return to our Father's fold, I must first ensure that you remain as pure and worthy of his blessings as you once were. Show us the achievements this child has accomplished in thy unholy name. You failed to bring forth issue while you helmed our cult. It is a mortal sin for a chosen. I know this one well. I have traveled in his company. Whatever else may be said of him, he answers to no one but Boo a long while ago. My wretched sibling brought me back. The fairest of Baalspawn, soul bound me to this husk. And so I am exposed to the instincts of a pure Baalspawn. I should have known. Yours is a nature not to be contained. I have heard of the duel Orin proposed to you. She seeks to sacrifice you in our Father's temple.
You wished to deceive Sarevok and your allies? The intent pleases, but the execution lacks finesse. My aching bones still feel every spark of pain from the crystalline moment of my death. I see why Orin spoke of you with daggered spite.
Our cult survived, festering beneath the city with me as the gate's everlasting poison. Let us die, chosen, as only Baalspawn can. She dreams that your corpse will be her masterpiece. But she forgets, before your incident, you were the true master.
You are something truly glorious, child.
The reasons matter not. The Celestial is dead. The offering is made. You gaze upon murder's progeny. Child, you are so full of promise. The perfect chosen. I almost hate to bring a challenge upon you. The temple is beneath the city, where all blood spilled is drained. Baal's will is absolute. The strongest of his bloodline will be chosen. A spawn who kills a chosen must then become chosen themselves. You will die here, mageling. Paltry spells will not save you now. Yield to the wrath of Baal. But you do not belong here. You have brought no offering. You are not fit to be judged. It matters not, for you have entered empty-handed. Your sentence is decreed, but she only seeks the Baalian favor you were born to inherit. I knew of my daughter's ambitions, but not the lengths to which she'd go. I remember the first time you set foot in the tribunal. Fallen paladin, coated in the blood of your order. Pure corruption. I knew you would go far. And every day living with the failure of my first death, I wondered whether Baal might forgive me.
But you are no mere aspirant. I did not expect to see you again. So it is true. You have returned.
Walk in blood, unholy assassin. It is Lord Baal's will. The discards of history may yet find their true purpose in Baal's service. In times past, I was Baal's deathbringer, his acolyte, and you, his favorite child. Another walks in Baal's bloody footsteps. It seems your warnings were not heeded, heroes of Baldur's Gate. I knew the old way. Two feral Baal pups jostling for position at the top. One was going to die by the other's hand. Spirit of the slaughtered, return to us. You don't recall all the wrong you wrought at the temple, champion of the underworld. But one matter is undeniable. Tell me, unholy assassin, why waste your time on discarded relics? With Baal's favor, you need them not. You will die here, mageling. Paltry spells will not save you now. I sense truth to your words. Arrogance, too. Baal's children must also learn from him. I had to. Go now, and do what I could not. Go to the heart of the slaughter, and be the last to live. Know that while I sit here in this husk, and in every moment experience the crystalline pain of the moment of my death, she seeks to sacrifice you in our father's temple.
This is the court of the dread Lord's tribunal. I am its custodian.
My granddaughter sent you? A rapturous endorsement indeed. For she is the murder lord's new favorite. Today we witnessed near perfection, Baalspawn. Your blood was foul before, but now you are twice tarnished. The unholiest assassin.
And so the Harper and the idiot Ranger raised their weapons against Sarevok once more.
Father, forgive me. I have failed you. A victim does not know honor. A victim knows terror and pain. They are the executioners of Baal's will, and slaughter in his name.
Just to mingle your pissing fear with her gall puddle. There are no words for this blasphemy.
Arin's gift surpassed even her mother's. Her mother knew this, and she could not bear it.
And so the Grand Harper raises her weapons against Sarevok once more.
By spilling Orin's blood, you rouse an old man's withered passions from their slumber and clear the way for their awakening.
I suppose there will not be the need for the tribunal. Now a true prophet of Baal has arisen again. You'll name your new unholy assassins directly.
One killing secures your rebirth as an unholy assassin of Baal, the slaughter of a celestial being.
But this is not her dwelling place. Orin resides within our father's temple.
You have proven capable of killing those known to you. But true devotion is the killing of an innocent, one who never had reason to wrong you.
What purpose do you have in bringing these heretics to the court of Baal? Speak, or death will be your final word. These are not aspirants. You have brought traitors of Baal into our midst.
Does your body force you to blink, to breathe, to piss?
But the line is not ended. You carry him with you, deep within, in your divine essence.
The violence pleases Baal. The domination pleases me. Your slaves may stand, the better to bear witness. You took their hands from them. Now I will clutch one of their souls from the abyss, that they may show Baal who you are. What better offering to make to our Lord? I loved her as I loved her mother, one born from the other, both heritors of my essence. Approach, aspirant, and be judged. I have already been sacrificed, centuries ago, upon Baal's own graven altar. I am now but a shadow of my former self.
He bays for your blood.
I will rise again, the dread Lord's chosen once again, and you will be my offering. The portfolio of murder passes into your hands. Do it justice. Enact slaughter befitting a god.
Not even for a Baal spawn.
Baal is about to name a new chosen. All is between you and my granddaughter Orin now, and Orin has much to learn. Do not keep your father waiting. Slaughter first, then cleanse yourself in blood. One who dies for no other reason than the sanctity of slaughter.
We have both failed, Baal. Let us die again, this time by each other's hands in his holy sight. Each breath you take is an insult to him.
But for all your zeal, I sense something amiss. You stand to be judged as an unholy assassin, and yet you bring no offering. As you stood a statue, Stone Lord, a helpless ornament, your city changed, warped, became ripe for the plucking. I am not the last. I am but one more offering in Baal's name. I bestow upon you the amulet of Baal, the vestment of his most unholy servants. I know these two well. I have traveled in their company. Whatever else may be said of them, they answer to no one but themselves. And you, man of stone, as you stood a statue, a helpless ornament, your city warped, changed, became ripe for the plucking.